Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is brought to you by the Friends in Recovery community, a thriving network of individuals who are fighting back against the stigma of addiction. Join our hosts as they speak up about the real issues of addiction, treatment, and recovery. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are your Friends in Recovery.
Welcome, everybody, to the Friends in Recovery podcast with Jersey Ed. I'm your host, Jersey Ed, and along with my two co-hosts, Buckeye, Bambi, and I have in my notes Beth, because we never know what she's going to be from week to week. So today is Better Beth. That's what she is today, Better Beth.
What's up?
What's up, Better Beth? So I'm going to leave in the whole time.
Yeah.
She only does that so I have to change the show notes every week.
Is that hard? I can stop changing it.
It's not hard.
Hey, guys, did you know it was Mental Health Month for us this month? We're going to be talking about some mental health stuff.
I think it's national. Is it National Mental Health Month or International Mental Health Month?
It is the Mental Health Month on Friends in Recovery. It's all that matters in this world. It's all that matters.
That's right.
And today's
alcoholism live and well here on Friends in Recovery.
There it is. Yeah. We go to a meeting after this podcast.
I go to a meeting before and after.
And before podcast.
Because of this podcast.
Yeah. I have to call my sponsor when I'm done with this meeting. So oh my God. Anyways, guys, this week's topic is just us. This is all you're going to see right here. Nobody else. No guests.
Just the three of us.
Oh, we got another song.
Oh my God. Y'all are killing
just
me.
The three of us. You and I. It's going to be one of those shows, guys. So anyways, Also, guys, we need an intern. If anybody's interested, please get a hold of us. And again, it's just us. I guess that's what we're calling. So stay tuned for some amazing recovery. And if you are interested in that podcast internship, just give us a call at 800-989-6504 or email us a long and lengthy resume and address it to Bambi so she can read through it. help@friendsandrecoverypodcast.com. Also go to the website, friendsandrecoverycommunity.org. You can find everything in there, from our meetings to all the podcasts to you name it. You can find all that there. You can send an email to each one of us directly. If you look below, you'll see each one of our emails, and send each one of us an email if you like. Also look for us on social media, Friends in Recovery Community. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and give us a 5-star review, and click that little thingy on, right? Like
notification bell. Turn the notification bell on. Subscribe.
Turn it on, guys. Turn it on. Carl probably just showed it right here. So, and of course, ladies, the hearts, purple hearts for we know who. Not for you and I, Beth. So
No, it's never for you and I.
That's right. I'm just going to cross out Beth and Ed.
Yep.
And we're just going to have Bambi.
Purple hearts. I agree.
You know
just purple hearts for Bambi.
That's
and
right.
It's not even purple hearts for all of us, because then we'll probably get less.
Yes, exactly.
It's just for Bambi.
But here it is. If you and I drop out, it's not a competition anymore. She's just getting purple hearts for no reason now. Like,
I'll take
what
it.
does that do? I'll take it.
Baby's like, I don't give a shit.
Don't want to be a quitter? Go ahead.
That's it. So, of course, Bambi gets the purple hearts, guys, and comment below. Put a bunch of purple hearts down there. Beth, black hearts. I seen you got a bunch of black hearts last week. There it is. Beth is pointing to her heart, and I get some blue hearts right over there. And guys, did you notice my new background? Did you see this? Bambi made me a nice new background. Check it out. Comment below.
Wasn't it always black?
Yeah, no, it was white. Then it was black. And then now Bambi made this new thing for me. So let us know how you like it, guys.
Actually, it started out black. He didn't want black because it interfered with his ears.
Oh, his headphones. Yeah.
So then he wanted it back to black, but then in between he wanted the big writing and then he wanted the little writing. So,
we need an intern, guys. Nobody believes me, right?
No one else would put up with you. They'd still say, Bambi, you take care of Ed. We'll handle the other stuff. But
That's right. So let's get those hearts out there, guys. Comment below. I'd like to thank all of our donors who made this show possible. And don't forget that you can don't forget Friends in Recovery podcast is part of the Fire Network, and Fire Network, you ask, is located on our Facebook page. No, it's on our website. So go check out the website and you'll get more information on the Fire Network. And here it is, sober shout out time. We got there pretty quick.
Wow, good, because we have a short show today. So
we do. So,
and I want to go first.
Bambi wants to go first. Yes, on her sober shout
Let's
out.
go, Bambi.
Go, Bambi.
Well, I have one. I have all. They're all real sober shout outs, but I have one sober shout out for my. The day this show will air, my sponsee Julie will have 1 year.
All right,
So,
Julie
H. She'll have a year. And
1 year.
But I have another sober shout out, and I want you to guess, Ed, what this sober shout out is for after I tell you who it's for.
Okay,
I'm going to tell you who, and you tell me why.
okay.
So
No
I want
pressure.
to give an amazing sober shout out to my sponsor, Kathy.
No, Camden
the other
Kathy.
one, Camden Kathy.
We'll give her one of these.
But we're going to include CH.
Okay.
So
Okay.
CH,
Camden
Tony.
Kathy. Tony.
Beth.
Nurses Week.
It's Nurses Week.
Happy Nurses Week,
Yes.
everybody.
Happy Nurses Week.
A month. I
Bambi.
think it's a month, right?
Yeah, no, it's a week. It's from the
Happy
6th
Nurses
to the
Week.
12th because the 12th is Florence Nightingale's birthday. So that's why it starts and it's Nurses Week. So
Do
for
I
all-
know our community or what? Like, how cool am I?
That's pretty cool, actually.
I
I didn't know what she was talking about.
I just took a stab at it. I'm thinking, well, they all yelled at me, each one of them. So I don't know if that would be it, right?
That'll be next week's sober show.
Yeah, that'll be next week. Well, Tony may not have yelled at me, so so it's kind of
But let me
We love
finish
you.
my list. I've got two.
Oh, go
Beth,
ahead.
Carla, Jennifer, and it just goes on and on because we have so many wonderful nurses in
We
our
do.
community.
We do.
But,
We love you, nurses. Yeah, that's how it started, guys. The nursing community really jumped on here, and we kept a lot of the nurses on, and we help a lot of nurses and first responders too. That definitely is a big draw for us too, is the first responders, because we have our first responders meeting 8:00 right on Thursday nights, Eastern time.
That's awesome. Here in New Jersey, there's like something called the RAMP program.
That's
We're
where they
very
came
familiar
from.
with the
We
RAMP
know
program.
the RAM program.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
It is pretty
Oh, yeah.
hardcore.
Yes, we know. We've sat through many of meetings learning what RAM does and doesn't do. But they're a good foundation, or a good whatever, to keep everybody together. So a bunch of nurses, right? Anything else? Any other sober shout outs?
Nope, that's all
No.
for this week.
Okay. All right. Now, Beth, how about you? Any sober shout outs?
I want to give a sober shout out to Bambi because she's a freaking nurse and it's Nurses Week.
Yes,
36
Bambi.
years this year.
Oh my
36
God.
years. Wow.
36 years I've been a nurse.
Ramp sucks. See,
She's been- Ramp sucks. Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, I've heard stories, but
remove all money program.
I love it.
I hope Ramp doesn't watch this. What are you eating, Beth?
If
What
they do,
you're
they'll
like
be
going
recording
crazy
us.
eating over there?
no, I'm self-medicating with popcorn.
Oh, I like to. Well, that's good, because you know what, the question of the week is that time, guys. It is time for
Question of the week.
the week.
Boom, boom.
Here
Boom.
it is. Thank you, Carl. All the explosions. So that was the question of the week. That's kind of how I segued into it, but I forgot we have to have the explosions before, and we have to say question of the week and all that stuff. The question of the week is, what's taking up most of your mind? Oh, no. That's not the question of the week.
That's the topic.
Self-medicating. That's the topic. I'm sorry. Okay. So the question of the week is, what's taking up most of your headspace right now? What's taking up most of your headspace right now?
Not being able to do what I want to do because of my stupid foot.
That's taking up your headspace. That's pretty good. Well, not, but good.
It sucks.
Good
I'm
answer.
so stuck.
And then the popcorn will fall in later when I introduce the topic later. So not being able to do what you want. Do you constantly think about that?
Well, every time I go outside, right? So it's gardening season. Like it's time. It's like go time in New Jersey. So I'm in garden zone 7A or 6B, depending on who you talk to. And it's time to get shit in the ground.
Yeah.
And I can't do a lot of it because of my foot.
Wow. Okay. I can, and that's kind of probably your outlet to like my running. And I get you.
Yes.
I can't run either. So, okay. That's a good one. I have to agree with that could take up a lot of space in your head.
Yeah.
But that's like it takes up most of it because there's not much there after that.
That's what I was gonna text you guys. I'd be like, nothing takes up any space because there's no space.
There's no space left in there. So how about you, Bambi? What takes up a lot of your space in your head?
Well, currently, I'm still grieving the loss of my brother. So I would say that's probably, he pops in and out of my mind all day long. If someone says something or, something comes up in conversation or, so still that. Still my brother, Chuck. So
Chuck is taking some space up, probably for a good reason.
Yeah.
We don't know why, but there's probably a good reason behind that.
Yeah. But you know what? He's helping. He's helping me.
Yeah.
Because, yes, when we used to go, all the time, even before he got real sick, we would go to Chuck's house, and Chuck is just a really kind man. So he continued even after the first, I don't know, half dozen or dozen failures of Matt to pick out a movie. He still let him pick movies. Matt's a sucky movie picker. Let me tell you, really bad.
That's like a big give.
Right. But I would give him a batting average, right? And he'd say, oh, Matt, you're batting this, or I don't really keep up with baseball, so I can't tell you what he was batting, but it wasn't very good. No one was going to be recruiting him anytime soon for a movie picker.
All right.
But Matt has picked out all good movies this sounds horrible, but ever since Chuck has died, Matt's picked out good movies. Wow.
Okay.
So I think that Chuck is
passed his powers down.
Helping a little with the movie.
He
picking.
might be.
It's a nice gift.
Chuck,
it's a nice gift. Thanks,
it's a nice gift.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah. Good job, Chuck. So Matt and Chuck are now picking out movies together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I don't know. Through Matt.
Somehow.
All right.
Good movies.
Guys, if you can follow that and understand that, send us an email, because I really don't know what any of that means. I really don't. But, and in Beth's foot, I can figure that one out. I thought that was going to be complicated, but no. I'm going to complicate things more because my head is filled with thoughts of people's other thoughts of me. My head is filled
what people think of you,
what people think of me, or what they're thinking about me. Yeah. And like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And I can email you a list.
My sponsor will regularly tell you it is none of your business what other people think of you.
That is right. That is right. I agree with you. And I have to start learning that. But it comes and goes, and I don't keep in it too long. I get out of it and I come back in it. And my therapist, well, she's my coach. She goes, Ed, you come a long way. You don't go into those rabbit holes anymore. You know how to get out of them. You know how to, whatever. So, I'm not in them deep anymore, but I do get in them once in a while. So yeah.
Well, just so you know,
yes,
we love you, Ed, just the way you are. So that's what's in my head.
Well, thank you. See, I think there's other things in everybody's head.
That's because she's better Beth today. Blunt
better
Beth might have been.
Yes, better Beth. So let's.
Beth is downstairs judging the shit out of you.
Can you see the duck?
Bunch of recovery.
And it squeaks. If you want one, let us know. We'll send you one.
I want one.
I'll send you one.
We'll send you one. You got ducks there? No,
she
Bambi.
will have after I send it to her.
True. Is this a podcast or are we just having a conversation? Did we start recording this yet?
We're doing good. We're on track. We got 20 minutes.
We got 20 minutes and then I turn into a pumpkin. So
yep.
All right. So the topic, guys, is self-medicating. We're a little thrown off because we did have a guest and they had to cancel last minute. So we had to pull something together. Beth was actually going to be driving in her car. I was running late. But everything happened.
I was always going to be here.
Yes, Bambi was always here. Bambi
That's
is
because you're the rock, Bambi.
Yes, exactly.
Got to keep the two of you on track.
You're the magnet, and we're
Yes.
the metal that get attached to you. So, but we're going to talk about self-medicating today. And Beth is perfect example. That's why she's eating, because she's showing an example what self-medicating could be. Can you show us again? Let's see that example.
Oh yeah. Wait.
Oh yeah.
There it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm good at this one.
This I'm good at.
So self-medicating, ladies, what does it mean to you? What is self-medicating?
Well, when and the reason that I like this topic is because long before I started drinking alcoholically, and before I became, I worked in psych. So I worked in psych in an actual psychiatric hospital for 13 years. And then I was the director of nursing for a psychiatric hospital for 3.5 years. Now, I wasn't
you caught the crazy?
I what?
You caught the crazy.
Some, yes. No, but seriously, before I ever really thought about alcoholism and before I drank alcoholically, it was common for all of our clients. And I mean, a good majority, didn't matter whether they were admitted with major depression, schizoaffective, schizophrenia, bipolar, suicide attempts. It didn't matter. There were so many. The majority also had alcohol or drug problems because they were trying to self-medicate themselves as an alcoholic, we drank to cover up other emotions. Well, they're trying to medicate the feelings of their mental, whatever mental disorder they're having at the time. They're covering it with alcohol, and it was just such a common theme. And I mean, dual diagnosis. I mean, it's just, it's everyone. It just affects everyone.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we all do things to just make ourselves feel better.
Absolutely.
I mean, part of the reason I'm eating popcorn is because I'm hungry and I've been running around like a crazy person all day, but popcorn is like my feel good, right? Think about it. Comfort meal. I just need a comfort meal. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person that does this, but like when I have a bad day, like I need comfort food for dinner.
I don't think you're the only person that does that. No. I doubt you are not unique as far as that goes anyways. Otherwise, yes, you are. You are completely unique and there's no one else like you. That's why you will never leave this podcast.
No, I'm here forever.
That's right. We're stuck here forever. No, but you're right. You know what? But, also self-medicating. But again, we did that when we were drinking, right? When we were using, that was self-medicating. A lot of us can be pharmacists probably without a degree, mixing what we used to mix together. But when we got into recovery, I don't know if self-medicating would be the right word or would be so bad. Like my running. Is that self-medicating? I do think of it a lot, right? I'm not running now, but when I'm not running or when I'm training for something, I'm thinking I have to go run today, or I ran this morning, or my legs hurt from running. It's my thing.
I don't think that's self-medicating. I think self-medicating is that quick fix. What's like the quick fix thing you do when you don't even realize it, right? So this is like, anybody who's watching this show, like take a step back and really, it's going to take some deep thought because you're doing this shit. Trust me, you are.
Without even knowing it. Yeah.
Without even knowing it. But where do you reach for a quick fix? Like here's some M&Ms on my desk.
Ice cream and sugar. That's what I reach for. That's my quick fix.
Amazon, retail therapy.
There you go.
So that actually started, I got to tell you, started for me, I think like a year or two ago. Retail therapy, that quick serotonin drop.
Absolutely.
Or dopamine drop or whatever it is that it make me feel better right now.
Yeah. So we got shopping, food, sugar. What else? Smoking,
vaping,
smoking, sex can fall under that too.
Yep. Sex. Yep.
What else? Gambling. Well, that's more of a, I guess gambling could, right?
It depends on your diagnosis. If you're not a gambler.
Yeah.
But it's almost like retail therapy. Like that's how I look at it.
Yeah. My
dad was actually used it as self-medication. Like my dad would he would say, I'm going to spend this much on scratch offs. And then he just kept he used to send me back to the store to get more, whatever his winnings were, he would buy more tickets. But when he ran out, that was it. He said
That
he
was
would
it,
spend
yeah.
100 or 500 or whatever he's going to spend, but that was it. He was done.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could see that. And that is sort of like self-medicating. Because when I don't go to a casino a lot, but when I do, I'll take like $100 or whatever it is, and I'll be excited to sit there and to win and, and whatever, but I won't reach into my pocket and get more money, but I guess that is self-medicating or fun. I don't know. I mean, it probably is a fine line between it because, of course, in the back of my head, I'm going to take this $100 and turn it into $1 million. Of course, that's what I'm going in when I sit down at a blackjack table or whatever. It's not going to happen. When we walk through the casinos, a friend of mine always says these rooms or this building wasn't built on winners. That's so true. I mean, if that building was built on winners, we'd be in a one room shack, with an old one-armed bandit in there. So
it always baffles me. Like gambling always baffles me too. I'm like, how do you think you're gonna win? Like, do you see the building that we're sitting in? Do you like they comp you dinner, they comp you your room, they comp you all this stuff? Like, what makes you think you're gonna make money? It baffles me.
I know.
Completely baffles me.
I know, but you get into that spot. Let's go down the list here. So the next one up was sex. Sex can do it watching videos or porn or whatever,
porn,
getting a lady of the night. I don't want to say hooker. What's the word?
Prostitute,
escort, prostitute, whatever. That can be part of that.
Lady of the night.
A lady of the night.
Wow, way to date yourself, Ed.
Hey guys, Jersey Ed here on
He's trying to get us kicked off again this week.
Exactly. No, that's part of it. If they kick us off for saying sex, we're in trouble. But
they kicked us off last week, and I don't even think we said sex.
No, we didn't. So sex can fall under that. What's the next one up? I have sugar. Sugar is huge, man.
Sure.
Sugar is huge. And Beth, you know what? I bet you everybody on here, like you said, take a step back. Everybody's listening. I guarantee you, they don't even know they're eating sugar when they're eating sugar because there's everything has sugar in it. Everything. You're eating this nice healthy yogurt. Look at how many much sugar's in it. I guarantee you, if you take out the sugar and you try to eat that, you're not gonna.
They put sugar in bread.
Yeah.
There's sugar in your bread.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I learned that there was sugar in my bread, like I looked at whatever healthy brand I was trying to, you know what I mean? And I looked at it because I was doing a Whole30, so 0 sugar. I was like, you can't taste the sugar. Why would you put sugar in bread? And it's like, I don't know.
There's a whole thing about sugar that the government subsidizes it and because it's so did you guys ever try to stop eating sugar? It's almost impossible. No. It really is almost impossible.
So it's interesting.
I don't even do that.
I did
not doing that shit.
Well, it's interesting because I did a Whole30, right? So it's like no sugar, I don't know. It's like a whole bunch of shit, like 0. You can have none of it.
Yeah.
And basically what it gets you is to a completely fresh and maybe not organic, but like non-processed meals is basically where it goes down to.
Yeah.
And I went a full 30 days with no sugar. I have never craved sugar again.
Oh yeah. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Did you get, because I got headaches. I went like 2 weeks. I got really bad headaches. I had really bad mood swings. Nope. It was bad. It was bad.
For me, I made it to the 30 days. I've never put sugar in my coffee after that. I never put sugar basically in anything. And when I do crave something, it's popcorn, it's salt.
Salt. That's another thing. Salt is also bad. I guarantee you, if you didn't have salt on that popcorn, you wouldn't be eating as much. Try potato chip without salt, right?
It's just greasy potato.
It's a greasy potato. That's all it is. It needs a little salt, right? But there's another, salt is also like all that snacky shit food that we eat. It's just not good for us.
No.
And the sugar creep. I want to get back to the sugar because we did have a guy on here. If you guys go back about a couple of years, the sugar guy, or I forgot what he was. There's a lot of views. I mean, a lot of views on that show, excuse me, and Kick Sugar or something. And he was very fascinating. You got to listen to that. But it is so hard to quit sugar. I mean, last night we cleaned out everything. There was no sugar. I threw the ice cream away because of whatever. I woke up in the middle of the night. I went downstairs. I'm like, I need some sugar.
Yep.
Right. I need some sugar. And I didn't find anything, thank God. So I ate a couple corn chips, which doesn't do any, that's not my thing, you know, but I'm thinking, okay, corn, sugar, it'll satisfy me and I'll go back to sleep. But it's the sugar is tough. The sugar is tough. Bambi, you said shopping. What? I don't understand that. I'm not a shopper. I don't, it doesn't do anything for me. I make a list, I get in, get out, and I'm done. And, whatever it is, even if I have to go buy clothes, I'll make a list, get in, go done. I know exactly what I'm getting on Amazon. I hit the button and I'm off. That's it.
No, it's the thrill of it. I'm telling you, like, I can go on to Amazon with an idea. Okay, I want to buy this type of makeup. Well, then I have to research it and I have to check the stars for it. And I have to read the reviews and then, make the best choice and then find it at the best price. And then when you finally hit that purchase button, it's just, it's satisfying.
Yeah, but then it all goes away.
Oh no, then it comes to you and then you get to play with it. So,
and that's the difference for me. So it's like, I know I really want something when it comes in the mail and I'm still excited about it.
Yeah.
For me, retail therapy is all about that first part that you were talking about, but then it comes in the mail and I'm like,
what did I order this for?
What? Yeah. What is this? Because I don't need it at that point. Like, it's all about the chemical dump in my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that, I don't know, Bambi, what is it called? The pleasures.
Yeah, the pleasure centers get triggered by it. You get a little release
serotonin,
of serotonin or epinephrine.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of that dopamine, a little bit of that stuff flowing because it gives you that little bit of a natural high to be doing that. But I think the question is, because everything you said, in moderation is all perfectly okay.
Yeah.
So when does it become self-medicating? At what point are you self-medicating rather than just living your normal life?
When you don't deal with the issue that you're self-medicating, that you're retailing about, that you're eating sugar about, eating popcorn enough. Yeah.
I agree with that. I think when you're not acknowledging the reason that you're doing it at all, when you're doing it and okay, I've been shopping, I've spent my entire inheritance or whatever, and I'm still dealing with the grief or you're still dealing with the emotions. You haven't you haven't done anything to fix the underlying reason for why you're self-medicating, which is why people that have an actual mental disorder, like bipolar disorder, they're doing really well. They're on their meds. They're doing great. So they go off of their meds. And when the symptoms start to come back, they don't want to go back on their meds because they don't, just like us alcoholics, don't want to say, oh, well, I'm alcoholic, so I don't want to say I'm bipolar. So now I'm just going to have an extra glass of wine, or I'm going to have an extra bottle of wine. And then sometimes that
extra
turns
case
into
of wine,
boxes of wine,
case of wine.
Well, so when does it become that issue? What you were talking about, is it an issue for you? That whole, it sounds like it's just a ritual. It sounds like you're looking things up. You're trying to get the best price. You want to get the best bang for your buck. And I think Beth said it perfectly. If it comes in and you're not so excited about it, I think that's where the problem lies. Yeah. Right. I think that's what, that would be my guess. Cause the only thing I order like mainly just books. Right. And when the book comes in, I'm excited. Like I got a book yesterday. I loved it. I'm like, I can't wait to read it. It's like third book in line, but I just loved it. I'm like, I can't wait to read it, but I have 2 other books to read. So is that for me, would that be? No, right? I mean,
no, because you're excited.
That's normal.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I garden in the summer and I quilt in the winter. I will order fabric. And then when it comes, I'm super excited about it. I have also self-medicated and bought fabric, and then it comes and I'm like, oh, I'll just put it on the shelf. Like, there's 2 totally different experiences with the exact same product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I was at my brother's and was literally stuck inside the house the whole time. I shopped so much we could barely fit it in the car to come back home. And have I used any of that stuff? I mean, I put makeup on once a week when we'd have to do a podcast 5 times a day for me to use all the makeup I bought while I was at my brother's house.
Return it.
No.
That's so fun, man. Yeah, she got it. So I saved the biggest one for last because I think this is, sugar is definitely big, but food, we all talked about food. That was the second, was food. It was shopping, food, sugar. That's the order that we came up with this list. Mm-hmm. So food, to me, I think is definitely overall the major problem besides sugar. I think food and sugar go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Just walk into a grocery store, right, and look down the potato chip aisle. There's a whole aisle for potato chips.
Yeah,
potato chips, whatever, whatever's in a bag, snacky shit in a bag, right? And then especially if you're hungry, right, you walk into that food store, you're fascinated by all of it. Then you move over to the soda aisle. The whole aisle is filled with soda. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and so on and so forth. And, it's just, I'm always like, if I'm eating my breakfast, I'm thinking, what am I have for lunch? Am I eating lunch? Am I have for dinner? I mean, that I know, and then sometimes I can't turn it off. My sister always says, now I'm eating for taste, like not nutritional value or survival value anymore. It's for taste, and I'll go out to dinner or I'll eat, my wife's stuff or my kids' stuff or whatever. And I'll just pick off the plates. And I look at myself, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I know that's a problem for me. I mean, I'm not going to go knock some old lady over the head and steal her Tostitos, but I don't know that. That's true. It could happen. But I know when it's happening and I'm like, what am I doing? But here's the thing. I don't stop doing it. Right.
So if you want to find out what's behind it, next time it happens, stop.
Okay.
And watch what happens. Listen to what's going on in your head after you stop.
Yeah, do some journaling.
Force yourself to not do it and acknowledge how you actually feel. I guarantee you the issue will bubble right up and then you will eat it away because you will be like, and I don't want to talk about that.
And that's it. And here we go.
Next time I see her.
Yeah. Well, I got a nutritional coach that I talk to, and it's here's what I found useful as far as food goes. I write a food journal every day. Now, I don't think I have a problem with food. It's just, I think I obsess on it when it's in front of me. Like, I don't know, because I grew up Catholic and my grandmother would always say, eat all your food because, people in other countries are starving. I mean, I heard that, the other thing too, guys, is, you got an adult person telling a small kid, eat all your food. They pile an adult portion on the child's plate, but you can't, like, physically, you can't eat it. But if you do, and you're getting yelled at, you're going to get kind of, sucked into it or used to that. And I think that's part of what my growing up was, I don't leave anything on my plate. I really don't. We went out to dinner, lunch yesterday, and there was a couple of shrimp left. That Stacy and I split. We split some shrimp, and I'm like, I'm not eating a lot. And it took everything in my power not to eat those shrimp and leave them there on the plate. I did. I left them there. There's a few shrimp. I left them there, and I was like, hey, look at me. I'm pretty good,
The worst thing parents can do for their children. I mean, I swear, growing up in my mother's house where everything was comforted with, oh, you feel sad, have a 1-pound candy bar. Let me make you a cake. Let me make you a pie. I grew up into such an overweight adult, and and I made that decision when I had a child. I was never going to do that. So when we had meals, dessert was served with the meal. And if she wanted to eat dessert first, fine. And if you want to eat your other, there was no more importance placed on sweets or anything else. And to this day, my child eats healthier than anyone that I know.
Wow.
I mean, she really does. But there was never an importance placed on you don't get a special treat because you're depressed. You don't get we're not going to go for ice cream because you had a bad cheerleader tryout thing. If we're going to have cake, it's going to be on the table. You can eat that first. You can have your broth broccoli first. It doesn't.
Let me ask you this, baby. What if your daughter had a good tryout or got a trophy? Would you reward them with
not
sweet
with food?
Really? Okay.
No, praise.
Wow. Okay.
Let's go home and we're all going to hop in the pool tonight. Let's go celebrate in the
Say to
pool.
your
Let's
experience.
Yeah.
did not equate to, and she never had to eat off of the children's menu, which used to drive my past husband crazy, because he's like, and I'm like, no, what's on the kids menu? Hot dogs,
Crap.
chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese. No, if my child wants the fresh fish of the day, she's going to eat the fresh fish of the day.
That's really funny. So when we moved to New Jersey, and actually just in general, like if I tell my kids, like we go out to eat, which we don't often, we never have. We take them out to eat. They're like, what can we have? I'm like, whatever you want. My daughter will get a chopped stuffed chef salad. And this is from the time that she's 2, 3, 4 years old.
Absolutely.
Then wants the chocolate chip pancakes. And Violet wants the chopped garden salad.
That's correct. That's amazing. It's well, again, it's the way we're brought up. So, and we're going to close here in a couple of minutes, but it's the way we're brought up. But when does it become, obviously, if people get obese, people have to get surgeries, people get big, 600 pounds. I mean, so when does what we're talking about, and somebody might be watching and saying, oh, look at it. They all look good. They don't know what a food addiction is. And maybe I don't, maybe it's just self-medicating. And maybe it's not, maybe I should thank God and look at it differently. It's a little bit self-medicating than going to McDonald's every day, hiding it, sneaking it around, and becoming that overweight person. I mean,
it sounds like you're afraid of having an eating disorder, but I can tell you do not have an eating disorder.
Okay, good.
No,
thanks.
My first addiction was food. I was 320 pounds and I had gastric bypass,
But how did that happen? Like,
my mother, anytime I had any emotions, fed me.
Okay. All right.
So I learned to eat through my emotions. I mean, that was her love. That's how you showed love in the family. You had a special meal, you had sweets, you had candy, you had ice cream, that's how I learned to deal with my emotions rather than to experience the feelings and deal through them. I ate through them. When I couldn't eat anymore, then I drank through them.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Well, and guys, if you're just tuning in, we're gonna close here in a minute. But if you're just tuning in, you're wondering, this is Friends in Recovery podcast. It's about addiction. It's about drugs and alcohol. This is about self-medicating. We were talking about we're all in recovery. We all have good recovery. We all have some long-term recovery here. And we still have some problems. I mean, problems aren't going to go away. Problems aren't going to, but it's just like, at the beginning of the show, when I was saying, I don't dive down that rabbit hole any longer. But we do need things. I know I do. I shouldn't say I need things once in a while to make me feel good. Beth, you were talking about comfort foods earlier. I love a good comfort food on a rainy day, or if I'm feeling upset, but I don't go to the extreme where I have to have it every single time,
Right. And I just want to say real quick, because if anybody puts this in the comments or says anything like this, I'm going to lose my shit. I don't do any of that because I just work my program. I will come for you. If you think that you got sober and that you should just be like, everything in your life is just now you work a program and everything's fine. No. You don't have enough in your life and you need to go get a life.
Yes.
Because we're human beings. Yes, we're in recovery. I mean, I may not have the best recovery on the face of the earth, but I have a good, solid program. I have not picked up a drink. I have successful relationships and I have a great relationship with my God. Mm-hmm. That's how I measure my level of recovery. Mm-hmm. But if anybody says something like, well, I don't ever do that because I just go and do an inventory, or I go and do an 11th step, or I call my sponsor, you are so full of shit. And Ed's got to go, but
it's okay.
It's so true. Like you have no idea how many big book thumpers, and I am a big book thumper. I'm proud that I know the big book the way that I do. Yeah. I see big book thumpers all the time talk from the podium about how they just worked their program. Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact that it's all bullshit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have years that go by and everything's great.
Yeah.
and then shit happens.
Yeah,
It's called
absolutely.
Life happens.
Life. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You know,
even just coming on here and exposing ourselves to some of our weaknesses. Everybody has a weakness, right? A lot of people are afraid to talk about it, but we do that day in and week in and week out on this show, because first of all, I think getting the point across that we're real people, number one, when we don't sit and talk about what we're going to talk about on the show. We literally come on sometimes late, sometimes early, sometimes we don't even know what we're going to talk about. And this is just what we do,
Yeah.
and it comes out, our feelings, what we do and how we do it. And it doesn't mean we're right or wrong. It doesn't mean, I don't know. It means we're human. Yeah. So however you look at it, I think I think the solution is that when we tell the truth or we get honest with ourselves, that's when the healing starts. I mean,
Right.
that's true. And then when that healing starts, I can recognize, am I eating that more, or am I, eating or drinking too much soda or whatever it is.
Right.
And then I can identify it and I can tame it down. It's never going to go away. I know sugar and food is never going to go away. I can tame it down,
Right.
and I can talk about it, and I can be honest and open about it. I know that.
And not for nothing, there's nothing wrong with emotional eating. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of retail therapy. It's a term for a reason.
Mhm.
Right.
It's when it turns into, I can't pay my mortgage because of my
problem.
retail therapy. That's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Right.
You've overshot the mark, which we all do. Listen,
Yeah.
and don't think that none of us overshoot the mark. We
Nope.
all do, right? But it's like, my foot broke. I'm literally sitting at my window at my desk now, looking outside at this, like I have almost a full quarter of an acre out here. I can't do anything, so I'm going to eat some fucking popcorn, and I'm going to call my friends. Listen, when I had postpartum with my daughter, I remember, and this is the first time this ever happened to me, shoving potato chips in my mouth, and when I thought about it in that moment, it was to try to make the feeling stop.
Yeah.
I was sobbing, crying, sitting on the couch, Indian style, with a bag of Lay's potato chips, shoving them in my mouth. I wasn't eating to eat. I was literally trying to shove those feelings down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And that happens. So, guys, we talked a little bit about shopping, food, sugar, sex, gambling, eating. These are all some of our thoughts on self-medicating. Again, we're all in recovery, and we do some of these things, and we get into some of these things. And I like what Beth said. We're not perfect, so we can identify these things and move through them, because we have a program, because we work a program, because Beth, knows the big book inside and out, and we can be truthful about all this stuff. So, guys, put your comments below. We want to know what you think about. Maybe put a self-medicating kind of what you do for self-medicating in the comments below too. Let's see what I mean. We only came up with a couple of them. I'm sure there's a whole laundry list of them down there. So let us know what some of the stuff that you do. We're not saying that it's an addiction. It's just something that might take place when you're not feeling good, or something that you're kind of you're doing it, and it's just
when
making
you're not
you feel
dealing with your
better.
issues.
Exactly.
This is what, because we can't drink anymore, right? And think about it. Some of us stay sober out of pride, so our sick behavior has to come out somewhere. Self-medication.
Absolutely.
And if you're out there and you are drinking a little bit too much, maybe it's time for a little mental health checkup as well, to see why you're drinking a little bit too much.
Yep.
Maybe there's some underlying mental health issues there that need to be addressed, and then maybe drinking won't be a problem anymore.
Call a therapist, ask your doctor, whatever, call the 800 number. Just be honest with yourself and move through it, because this won't last forever unless you want it to. This will not last forever. We can push through it, right? And that's what all of us, each one of us on here, and everybody commenting on here, that's what we did. We pushed through it, and we got to the other side. And when you get to the other side, there's other shit on the other side. It ain't fucking rainbows and fucking unicorns on the other side. I can tell you that. You might think it is, but it's not. And we just have to keep pushing through. Ladies, great show. Self-medicating. Everything happens for a reason. Our guest kind of had to bow out, and this was a great show. I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff.
Next week, though.
She'll be back next week. Yeah. Look, well, we hope. So just look for next week. I think, if anybody has any questions, please comment below. And I think we're done, right? I mean, anything else you want to add to that?
No, man. Good show, Ed. Good idea.
Yeah,
Unless it was
absolutely.
Bambi's.
Bambi's idea.
It was
Bambi's
my idea.
Nobody's
Beth. Don't
surprised.
give him credit.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
it.
I
That's
should have
it.
known.
That's it. And what do we say to close, guys?
Stay sober.
Stay sober.
Stay sober, everyone.
Stay
I'm like, what
sober,
do we say?
Take care, guys. Stay sober.
This concludes this episode of Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast. Follow us on Facebook for past shows and updates, and enjoy free access to twice daily support meetings. Friends in Recovery, the Addiction Recovery Podcast, is available on Facebook, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.